Well, hello, crafters. How are you this morning on this dreary, miserable Melbourne day? I'm just sitting here looking out my window, and I've actually moved the location for my live today because I thought I would get better light here, but with the amount of cloud that keeps popping back and forward, I'm not sure how we'll go. So let me know if we've got lighting issues. So let me just see who's coming on this morning. I like to, as you know, I like to see your comments and be able to interact. So I'm just, let me check that I'm actually on. And who's on with me? Hi, Roz. Yes, it is a great day for crafting, isn't it? It's just really so miserable out there. And we'll just, hi Carol, we'll just give it a minute or two so that we can wait for any others that are joining us this morning. So how has your week been, ladies? I know I saw a few of you on Thursday night when we had a virtual crafting night via Zoom, which was a lot of fun. Sweaty and stuffy as usual. Okay, Carol, you've been to Zumba, I take it. That's a good. Which was a lot of fun. Let me just turn that sound off. For some reason, I've got sound I shouldn't have. Okay. I'm also trying a new way of seeing your comments today, so I'm doing that on my iPad. So. Bear with me if we if I seem a bit distracted. Sorry, I mean that's what I'm trying to say. Is I'm actually trying to see if it works this way. So if I can see your comments easier. Hi Michelle. Yeah, it is freezing, isn't it? I'm planning on spending the rest of the day in my craft room. Hi Mel. Yeah, look, it's just started to rain here. It's actually pouring outside. So, yeah, so we'll just see how that goes. I'm waffling a bit this morning, aren't I? I don't know what it is. I'm actually just trying to get these comments working, but I'm actually not seeing them on my iPad. So I think I might just go back to my laptop. Anyway. So, crafting, that's what we're here for today. So, how many have we got here? We've got a few of us joining us now. Hi, Marg. All right, I might get started because I've got a few things to go through today. So this card is, it's not hard, it's just a little, has a few more steps than I would do normally. So I'm actually revisiting a stamp set from last year's Christmas catalogue, which has returned to our annual catalogue, and it's the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and the coordinating tree punch. So this has got a great range of Christmas trees and some good sentiments for Christmas, plus you've actually got your punch. So I don't know about you, but where you get your ideas for your cards or where you're inspired from. But I look around, there are lots of things I see, colours or patterns or just a range of things all over. Nature sometimes is a good inspiration, but sometimes when I'm really, really stuck, or sometimes when I'm just browsing the catalogue, that's where I might get my inspiration from the catalogue. And so when I was having a look the other day, I'm going to bring my catalogue in. Let me just move these things out of the way for the moment. When I was going through my catalogue, I don't know if you can see that. Let me make sure I get it in shot. I was actually looking at the Christmas stamps from last year, and I thought, what can I do? What can I do? I've got a couple of these stamp sets, and I'm sure you've all got some stamp sets from last year as well. And I actually saw this image down here. I don't know if you can see it. in the bottom left-hand corner, or right-hand corner, sorry, of page 60, that's got these little like cotton spools with these trees on top using the Perfectly Plaid punch and stamp set. And I thought, wow, I really like that, but I don't really want to do them on spools like that. How about I try and do them on a card? So I thought I would give it a whirl. So that's what we're going to do today. So that's actually where I got the inspiration for today's card. So let's get started. So I'll bring the card back in so that you can have another look. So there you go. You can see that's the what was in the catalogue. So the little trees with the letters on the inside, and it says Merry Christmas. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did those. So the supplies for today, let me bring those in, I'm using a thick Whisper White card base, which is 21 centimetres by, I think it's 17.8. So it's a regular piece of cardstock cut at 7 inches and then scored in half. So, but I think 7 inches is about 17.8 centimetres, which means you'd be scoring at 8.9. So then I have a piece of the beautiful pattern paper from the Trimming the Town DSP. Why can I hear that? Why can I hear that feedback? Just give me a moment. I'm actually going to turn that off. I think it's coming from my iPad. Sorry about that, ladies. All right, so yes, Trimming the Town DSP. And then this little piece here is just a piece from the Heartwarming Hug. So I'm a bit all over the place today. I'm using a few different things from a few different suites, but like you at home, I'm sure you've got lots of different papers and different stamp sets and punches and that. And sometimes it's good to see how you can pull them all together for one card and that you don't actually just have to have everything from a particular suite. Hi, Deb. How you going? All right, I have a piece of Pear Pizzazz cardstock for my stamping, my trees. A piece of Shimmer White that we're going to be cutting our little snow scene at the bottom with. And that's about it, I think. So let's get stamping. So I'm going to start with my piece of Pear Pizzazz. And I've already mounted one of the trees from the stamp set. So I'm using this particular tree here. And I'm actually going to be stamping in Mossy Meadow just because I wanted my trees to be a little bit darker. So I've actually done some prep work already today, so you won't have to watch me do the whole lot. So I'm just going to stamp a few of these trees. So you would need 5 trees, obviously, to spell the word merry. And of course, it doesn't have to be merry. It could be anything that you want. You could do peace, you could do Noel, whatever you like. So you would have 5 trees. Well, 5 in this example anyway. I'll close that up so I don't put my hand in it. And then I'm going to bring in my punch and I'm just going to punch those trees out. So, a good time to look at comments. Okay, who else have we got? Hello, Sandy. How you going? So you would punch all of those out, and I'm not actually going to do that this morning, so I've already prepared some earlier. But I will use one of these. So what we're going to do then, I'm actually going to be also using the dies from the Playful Alphabet. So if you haven't got an alphabet die set, this is a fantastic set, one I'd say you probably should add to your wish list and to your collection some point down the track. It's got lots and lots of pieces. It's got some symbols, it's got numbers, and it's also got a couple of the more common letters. So it's got 2 E's and it's got 2 R's. So when you're actually cutting things, you actually don't have to you don't have to be, repeating it so that you can actually use those extra letters. I'm not explaining that very well, am I? So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to use my letters in the centre of my tree to actually cut out that shape. So you can see there, I'm actually going to put my M in the middle there, and I'm actually going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to actually just cut that out. So I'm actually just going to do that off camera, so if you give me a minute, I'll just do that. It's all very quiet here while I'm off camera, isn't it? I could say talk amongst yourselves if you actually could. Oh, you could do that by comments, I suppose. So I'm going to bring back in my tree, and I've actually, as you can see, I've actually cut out the negative space for my letter. So here's my little M, and you can put that aside, and you can actually keep that, and you can use that for another project down the track. So I would do that with all of my trees to spell out the word merry. And then I'm actually just now going to cut the inserts for those. I'm going to be doing this on this beautiful striped paper from the Heartwarming Hugs pattern paper. Now I found the easiest way to do this was actually on a piece of like sticky post-it note. So you could actually just layer them straight onto your pattern paper like that. Make sure that they're all straight and cut it out. And I would do that if I was going to use this piece of the negative space after I was finished for something else. But really, I just want to make sure, because you would want to make sure if you were doing that they were all lined up straight. But all I want to do is actually, when I cut them, I want to make sure that they don't move. So I'm just using a piece of like the wide post-it note, or I've got this paper called Eclipse tape, I think it's called. I've had it for years. But you can get post-it note on a, like post-it note tape. So I'm actually just going to put my letters straight on there so that they don't actually move. It doesn't really matter if they're not straight, because I'm actually not going to be using the negative space afterwards. So then I just put that straight through my So sorry, Sue, why did you do it that way instead of just cutting the letter separately and putting it on top of the whole tree? You could do it like that as well, but I actually wanted it to be inside the negative space. So you could, that would be an easier way of doing it, and you could certainly do it that way if you wanted to, but I wanted it to actually be inside the tree. So that's the answer to that. So now I'm just going to run this through the Big Shot, through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I just wonder how long it's going to take for me to stop calling it a Big Shot. I've been using a Big Shot for so long that I love Stampin' Up's new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but I think I'm still going to be referring to it as a Big Shot for a little while. So where are the rest of those? Where did the rest of those letters go? Oh, here they are. So then you will have your letters. Not sure where my M ended up. Here it is. Okay, and so if you, like I was saying before, if you wanted to use your negative space and you wanted to make sure that they were all straight, you could actually go back and pop in the bits that we cut out earlier from our Christmas trees, and you could use that for another card if you wanted to. Okay, so that's just another idea for using up your leftovers. So what I did then was, I'm just going to go back and obviously insert that into my letters, into the negative space. Sorry, I'm rambling. What I did then was I actually did it from the back, And I just used a bit of double-sided tape just to make sure that they stayed in there. So I'm just going to pop that across there. I'm going to just turn on an extra light here just to see if we've got better light. And I would do that for all of the letters. So put them all back into their negative spaces inside the trees. And I did that earlier so that you wouldn't have to be hanging around too long. As you can see there, all of my trees ready to go on my card. I just dropped one down the bottom of my desk. Just excuse me while I crawl around on the floor. Okay, so there we go. Right, so really that's most of the hard work done for the card. Now the other thing I'm just going to do is we're going to cut this our snow scene here, and I'm actually using a die from the I think it's called the Coming Home. Well, it's the Home Together die set. So it's in the Trimming the Town suite. So it's the same suite that the pattern paper we're using today is from. And this suite will be the featuring in my Make It by Mail class in September. So look out for that one. But we're just going to be using this straight edge. Well, it's not a straight edge, but it's the curved die here used to cut the snow scene. And I'm actually just going to show you how to extend it, because this is actually designed, the die is actually designed for a regular size card, but as you can see here, we're doing a slimline card. So I'm just going to show you how you can extend that. So let me just bring in my plate, my very well used plate here. And I'm using shimmer white here just because I want a little bit of shimmer on my, to be on my snow, and I don't want to have to add it later. So what you do is, you can see with the dies where the cutting edge is, right on that edge. You want that edge to be towards the bottom, because once you run this through your die cutting machine, you will find that you'll get a little impression from this whole edge along here, and you don't want that on your card. Okay, so this is the piece here that we're going to be using on the card. So we want the cutting edge to be right at the bottom. So I'm just going to line that up with the edge of my card. I'm actually just going to put a bit of tape on that, just so that it doesn't move. Maybe just down a little bit there. And then I'm just going to go and cut that. Okay, I'll just bring that back in. Now, as you can see, that's not quite long enough for what we're doing. So now I'm actually just going to extend it. And this is really easy. What you can do is, I'll just bring my plate back in, just find the edge where you finished off and actually just fit your cutting edge just into the little slot there. You'll find that it finds it quite easily. Once it falls back into that spot, you can then just go and cut again. So there you go. Find the spot, find the groove, and it will actually sit back in there quite easily, and then you can just go back and cut that. So just give me a minute and I'll cut the rest of it. Okay, so you can see now I've got this piece here with the extended area there, and it will fit right across the front of my slimline card. So now really we're just going to do construction now. So I'll bring in my my pattern paper. I'm just going to use some Tombow on the back of that. Again, I'm using Tombow so that I've got some wiggle room to move around when I put it on the front of my card, just to make sure that it's actually in the right spot. Tombow is great for that little few seconds that you get to actually move it around to make sure that it's in the right place. Now, I've actually also put some dimensionals already on the back of these trees. So before I actually attach this piece, I'm actually just going to do my stamping. And I'm using the Merry Christmas out of that same set, the Perfectly Plaid. But I actually only want the Christmas, so I'm actually just going to use my marker to ink that up. And the reason I'm doing it before I attach it to my card is if I mess it up, then it's not already attached to my card and I can cut another piece and do it again. But hopefully I won't mess it up. But you know, we're all human and we all do mess things up sometimes. So I've inked that up, just the word Christmas, with my marker in the Misty Moonlight. I'm going to give it a bit of a huff just to reactivate that ink. And then I'm just going to stamp it on that wide section of my snow piece. Not too bad. You probably didn't clean it up. You need to make sure that when you do that, that your stamp is perfectly clean so that you don't get actually any extra impressions from leftover ink from any previous project. So now I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of that, if I can find them. So it's a good time maybe for me to check some comments. Hi Sonia, oh, you were watching last week's video, okay. Okay, and you'll notice, ladies, that I've actually drawn the winner's card from last week and the week before. So the winners were Deb Miles for the World of Good buckle card, and Diane Duck for the In the Pines card from last week. So they will come out to you in the post next week when I can get down to the post office. So for those of you who haven't joined me before, if you comment, watch me live, share my video with your friends so they can join in as well, then I will draw a winner of the card I'm making today, and that will come out to you in the post. So where's my pick a tool here? So I'm going to take the backs off those dimensionals. This is a great way of getting your backs off. Especially now that we've been locked down in stage 4 restrictions here in Melbourne for 3 weeks, and so I have the return of COVID nails, which if you joined me early on in the a few months ago, I had COVID nails, not been able to get to my nail lady, and then I was actually able, when restrictions were lifted slightly, I was actually able to go and get them done, but they're actually back now. So don't look too closely at my nails, and I'm glad that this is not a nail commercial, because I would fail dismally. Okay, so we're just going to pop our snow scene on there, and then it's just a matter of attaching our trees along that snow line. So take off our dimensionals, backs. For those of you who use the dimensionals, do you find the backs all over the house? My husband complains that he finds them in the bed, they're in my clothes, they just manage to turn up everywhere. The kids find them in their rooms. I'm not actually sure how that happens. Probably it just attaches to my clothes, and oh, that's not sticking very well, is it? And then they fall off when I go to other parts of the house. can you refill those markers with your ink refills? You certainly can. If you're very, very careful, you can open them up and take the nib out, and then you can just drop in a few drops of your re-inker, and that will refresh your markers. You can't do it though with the blends. You can only actually do it with the markers. Obviously, the alcohol ink inside your blends is different to your ink refills. So, one there. You probably should, before you actually start sticking them down, is to just attach them to your card and space them out to make sure that you've got enough room. Anyone who knows me is I like to eyeball stuff. I'm not very precise. I don't measure everything, so but that can sometimes be a bit of a problem when you get to the end of your card and it doesn't quite fit in. So do as I say, not as I do, and you'll be right. Hi Christine, how are you? Coming in late? Oh, that's all right. I'm glad that you just joined us today. Actually, still really having trouble getting the backs off these dimensionals. I'm going to use my Take a Pick because it's sticking to the back of that. You could actually take the backing off your tape if you want to. It's just there to make sure that those little letters don't actually pop out. So, here we go. So that's pretty much the card finished, and then of course we all need some embellishments, some bling. So this is some of the embellishments from the Trimming the Town suite. So we've got some circles in the red and the white, and then we've got some little stars in the yellow. So I'm just going to use those on the top of my tree just to finish off. So each tree here, I'm just going to pop a star on the top of each tree. So you could use anything here. You could use some whatever embellishments you've got. You've got just the rhinestones. They would look really pretty, and you could also colour those with blends if you've got them. If you've got some sequins, they would also look great. Might actually just pop that one down there. And there we go. That's our finished card. So it's a good way to show you how you can combine some of the elements, both from the annual catalogue and our new mini catalogue. And don't forget those stamps that you bought last year that are sitting on your shelf. Bring them out, dust them off, and give them a whirl. So I hope you liked today's card. For those of you who earned bonus day coupons last month, don't forget that you need to redeem them by the 31st of August. Don't let them expire. We also have the box of Sunshine Paper Pumpkin Kit, which is available at the moment. So that's only available while stocks last. There's a post of that on my Facebook page if you want to see some more. And also I will be posting up in the next few days the details for September's Makeup by Mail class to go. So if you look out for that, it's like I said before, it's going to be using the Trimming the Town suite. So have a look out for that and have a go at making this card if you liked it. If you, I'd love to see what you come up with if you give it a go. And I will see you all again next week. Have a great weekend. I hope you find something nice to do for yourself in this miserable weather this weekend. And you have a good week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Okay? Bye.